So my name is Roger Elmes. I'm Dean Emeritus at Kwantlen Polytechnic University, which is a university that formed out of a two-year college that became a four-year university degree granting college and then a university. Kwantlen is located south of Vancouver, so it's the whole area of south of Vancouver down to the US border, the 49th parallel. So there's a number of ways in which Rohe actually helped us in putting together a Retirees Association for Kwantlen Polytechnic University. So I'll use the abbreviation of KPURA, which is KPU Retirees Association. So the first way was by example. So if other universities and colleges are engaged in retirees associations, then why not KPU? So that was sort of the first thing that struck me right away was we were over 100 members, still probably in that ballpark, and they were all doing this type of activity. So this was something very brand new to me. I had no idea that there were retirees associations when I was asked to look into forming one. So there are also some very specific resources on the Rohe website about forming associations. And I didn't find out about Rohe until I was pretty well into my study and writing a report on it. So what that was able to do was really to validate what I had done and to make sure that I was on the right track. So that was very, very valuable. It would have been better had I known about it earlier, because I would have been able to use a lot of the ideas that are in there. But anyway, it was a very good checklist by the time that I got to that point. Also, citing benefits for universities and retirees. So this is always, I think, probably a part of how does a university say, this is something in which we should be engaged and we should support. What are the benefits going to be to us and to our retirees? So in my report, there are over 4 pages of benefits that the universities and retirees would see. And I was able to draw a lot of that from Rohe and its website, and the information on there. It was very, very helpful. So I was able to validate what we were already doing in terms of information that we'd gathered for Canadian universities on what they were doing and how they thought they were benefiting, to see that the same kind of things were occurring in the US and to be able to cite those. So while the report did focus on Canadian universities and colleges and what they were doing with and for their retirees, having that Rohe example there and showing that there's like over 100 members who've been doing this for years, some for close on 50 years, that this was certainly a definite activity that we could get engaged in to support our retirees. So that lent a special credence to this whole activity, given that all of those things were going on in the US. So my report recommended that a KPU Retirees Association become a member of Rohe to take advantage of the services that were then offered. And since that time, I did my report about 2016, fall of 2016, those benefits and the activities and things that are available on the website have simply expanded. So that was very, very useful to be able to provide that as a kind of a touchstone that we could always go back to with our board as it formed. So actually, of course, Suze Klinkhammer, who you know is helping out with the current conference that's being organized. So she's a member of our board as well. So finally, I would say that people have made a big difference in that Rohe. The people at Rohe have made a huge difference in how we've been able to progress as a young organization. Really only kind of in the last 3 years that we've been formed as a formal society, legal society. So I say that the ongoing warm support and the validation, especially the validation by the executive director, Sue Barnes, has been very important before we formed and especially after we formed and were feeling our way. She's been a big and invaluable supporter for us throughout that period, and that's really excellent support. I'm really glad that she doesn't understand the meaning of interim, since she's still the executive director, even though her title has been interim for several years now, because we've benefited a lot from her experience and her support as we've moved forward. So that's basically how we tied into Arohe and how it was helpful to us in forming as an association.